Hey guys, we're back with Umineko no Naku Koryo ni, translated meaning when the sequels cry, better known as Umineko when they.
Cry.
There we go. We're back with Umineko, guys. And we just covered the first Twilight from the meta perspective last time. We established the red truth. And do you have any further thoughts on that? Like who the culprit is, etc.? We did talk a little today about the choice of the victims.
I have no real theories on who the killer might actually be, but I do have my theory that I was talking about yesterday.
Yeah.
With the
you don't get to
letter.
cover it too much on camera, so.
Yeah, that's true.
We talked earlier, 6 p.m. today? It's 1 a.m. now. And you mentioned the first Twilight victims. You mentioned Kraus and Rudolph in particular. Do you want to go into that? No?
Sorry. I just got a message.
Oh, okay.
I'll reply to this later. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Right.
Yeah, what did you say? One more time? Sorry.
Oh, okay. So you mentioned the choice of victims for the first Twilights and how you're examining them.
Yeah. So I asked you who the people that died in the first Twilight in episode 1 were.
Because you don't remember.
I mostly forgot, but I had a pretty good idea it was the two, at least the two that I was thinking, and then the one extra that I had thought as well. Those three being Kraus, Rudolph, and Kirei.
Yes, those three are the ones that have died in both this game and the last game in the first Twilight.
Because everything I know about Kraus and Rudolph tells me that they're both really smart and really, like, I want to say dangerous. I want to say, like, I don't know, strong?
You keep underestimating Kirei. Like, I would call her the smartest person on the island.
Oh, no, for sure.
Okay.
That's why I was going to segue into saying, and then there's Kirei, who is probably the smartest person on the island. She is the reason Battler probably hasn't just given up yet.
That's true. Chessboard thinking. Turn the chessboard over. You know, that's Battler's saying. And also in the first Twilight, just so you remember, it's Rosa, Shannon, and Goda that died last time. And this time, Eva, Hideyoshi, and Natsuhi are the other ones. Do you think there's any pattern to those three, or?
I'm not entirely sure. You said, or I have no idea, I guess is a better answer than that. Like you said, a lot of it's probably just opportunity.
Yeah, I mentioned.
Like I said earlier, none of the cousins have died yet because it seems like they're like almost always together.
Yeah, that's what happened in the first game. I don't know if they actually ever split up after the first Twilight for more than like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So that could be a good reason why they survived the first game, because examining patterns is a good way to look at these things. It's being scientific. So that's about all we can really talk about, really, as we go into this.
I guess I'll expand on my theory as I learn Red Truths.
Do you have anything more to say, or?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. And remember, feel free to voice anything, because that's the fun of it.
Can we recap what we have so far then?
Recap the first Twilight?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. I sent you a notepad document with all the red truths you have so far, so you can look over it. You have that, right?
Yeah, let me
I put that
up
on your desktop.
Yeah, I don't know why I didn't. That was an accident. Where did this go?
Oh, yeah, let me get the wiki page up so I can take a look at the red truths, so I can judge your arguments.
Okay.
There we go. Okay. Because we'll be getting more red this chapter. So, was there anything in particular you wanted to recap, or
no, nothing specific. I guess just what the theory I had at that point was, which I guess was more or less the same that Battler had said.
Yes.
So only one key to the chapel exists, right? So, Beato gave her the letter. It was the same letter that was in it when Rosa got it. But at some point, or I guess not Beato, but the culprit, I guess you could say, or I guess I should be saying, gave Maria a letter, and then that letter got to somewhere between when Rosa got it and when it was given to Maria. It was taken and then used to open the chapel, and then the letter was resealed and given back to Rosa. Or Maria, sorry.
Right. I wasn't listening, but I think you understand it.
Yeah. I got things kind of backwards, but I said mostly everything.
Basically, person X, the culprit, snuck into the cousin's room sometime around midnight, locked the door, then returned it, basically, resealing the envelope.
Right. And then there begs the question, how did they get all three of these couples into the chapel? And on that, I don't think we've been given any solid evidence.
You mentioned the gold bars last time.
I did mention the gold bars, and I'm pretty sure that's what got them in there. She was like, or the culprit, sorry, just had some gold laying around, maybe.
Kraus has one gold ingot, but there were three there. Kraus had one in he found it. Well, he tracked it down basically, as revealed in episode 1. I don't know if you remember that, but he didn't have three. He only had one.
Okay, it's
basically that gold bar was Kinzo gave it to someone as collateral.
Yeah,
and that's the only one that exists anywhere outside, supposedly.
Right.
So if we take that at face value, that means the culprit has solved the epitaph. Do you think that's true?
That, or at least has access to 2 extra of those gold bars.
Yes, so that's something. So the witch's letter, the letter, calling everyone out, says that if you solve the epitaph, everything's void. It's challenging people to solve the epitaph.
Right.
Do you think that person has already solved the epitaph? Or do you think they haven't?
I think...
Yeah. Well, okay, look at it from two ways.
Now that I think about it, maybe even if they solved it, that's just what the culprit wants, is for them to solve it, then to say it, and then he's just going to kill them all anyways.
Yeah, he's baiting them into solving it so they can take the gold for themselves. That's a way to look at it. Or because if they've already solved it, them solving the epitaph, that's a meaningless condition. Unless it's trying to, incite fear or incite them to look another way trying to solve the epitaph. Aside from
regardless, what we do know is that there are 3 gold bars.
Yes.
And whether or not they took it from Kraus means that there exist at least 2 other gold bars.
Yes.
Maybe. I don't know where they got them.
Oh yeah, do you think the gold exists?
Do I think the gold exists?
Yes.
Well, I mean, it's right in front of me.
Oh, do you think the 200 million yen worth of gold exists?
No, not... No? I mean, yes?
Yes?
I don't... So this is something I'm going to have to give a non-answer on because I don't know.
Okay. Just a hunch. Do you lean one way slightly more than the other?
Evidence points to yes.
Okay, that's true.
Because there's at least 3 bars of that right in front of me.
Yes.
At least 3 10-kilogram bars of it right in front of my face.
I mean, the Ushiromiya family is rich enough to purchase 3 gold bars.
Oh, yeah, no. I mean, if they wanted gold bars, they could probably have them.
Yeah, but just, that's...
I don't know how rich you have to be to have your own smeltery in order to have your own crest on them, however. That's interesting.
Oh, yeah. Okay, do you want to get started? We're 10 minutes in now. Or do you have anything else to add?
No.
Okay, we're good now.
I guess so. We are good, but I guess I'm just going to say this last thing. I guess to give you a solid answer on the gold thing is I do think it exists, but I'm still a little confused.
Okay, that's fair. It's okay to be confused. Anyway, let's get started.
Okay.
Rosa and the rest, I think this is the third person, and the rest return from the chapel to the parlor in the mansion. So many things had happened since early in the morning. Of course, they are high-strung. Ooh, this might be first. Nope, it's not. Battle and George, who had cried, raged, and let their emotions explode after seeing their parents' tragic bodies, returned to the parlor and sat on the sofas, dazed, as though everything up until then had been a lie. Only Maria was completely unchanged and looked just like normal. When she wasn't playing pranks, she was basically a kid who played wordlessly by herself. So even if she was dazed, she'd probably look just as she did. But as she turned on the TV and flipped through the channels, she watched Higurashi no Naku Koroni. They had her watching that in the anime. It looked as though nothing about her had changed from normal. Did Yosa think anything in particular about this attitude, which is clearly different from normal people? She stared at Maria's back as though looking at something that wasn't quite heartwarming. Eventually, Kumasawa exists. Can we say good morning? Good morning, everyone! How's everyone doing?
Having a good day!
Her cheerful manner is clearly out of place. She couldn't help but be bewildered by the strange atmosphere in the room.
You guys want some candy?
Then, when she heard the details from Koda, she reacted loudly with shock. Oh, of course you contacted the police, right? Oh, what should we do in a time like this? Oh, what should we do? Please calm down and listen. It seems a machine somewhere was somehow done in by lightning last night. Because of that, we haven't been able to use the phones. What? Then, until the typhoon passes, we can't even contact the police? Maybe Kumasawa's exaggerated surprise was a little comical. Even in this kind of situation, Rosa giggled. Because of that, the fog of confusion that had covered her head cleared up a little. Rosa, I think?
I think so. Yep. I've got to stay strong. It's not just Maria. I'm acting as a parent for George-kun and Battler-kun, too. So I have to stay strong.
Rosa had been the youngest sibling, with a large difference in age between her and the others. So she had always been treated as a child. Every time she learned something new, it was something obvious to her siblings. And she had built up a complex, becoming convinced of her own incompetence. So she had developed a passive personality, asking her siblings for advice every time something happened. But she no longer had any brothers or sisters. Now, Rosa was the only one of the 4 Ushiromiya siblings left. Furthermore, if Kinzo continued to shut himself away even in this extraordinary situation, Rosa would have to surpass this crisis as the head's representative.
I'm not a child anymore. I'm not a child.
Stop it! Rosa slapped her knees lightly and stood up. She must not wait for orders now. She had to start moving herself. She picked up the receiver of the extension phone on the side table. Then she immediately remembered that the phones were down. Genji and Shannon, whom she had sent to see Kinzo, hadn't returned yet. She had a good guess at what was going on. He's probably yelling something nonsensical again and becoming unmanageable. His precious chapel had been defiled with blood. That's easy to imagine. She had planned on using the extension phone to call the study, but unfortunately, the phones were down. Yosa decided to go to the study directly, with her own 2 feet. Her old self would have been too frightened to go see Kinzo. And in fact, if she didn't meet him, she'd probably be blamed somehow and insulted. But this was no time to be frightened. As his true daughter, she had to make him aware of the current situation.
Kumasawa-san, I'm going to see Father. Take special care of George-kun and Battler-kun. I'm sure they're on edge right now.
Yes. That may be true. It is truly pitiable. Pitiable. I should make them something warm to drink, like mackerel juice.
Actually, it's pishable.
What?
I'm kidding.
Okay. What was the word earlier today?
Thank you, regime.
It's not regime. Sorry. Rosa went out into the hallway and headed towards Kinzo's study. The atmosphere in the mansion, which she spent her younger days in and should have been full of her memories, seemed somehow a lot different. Oh yeah, guys! I took my finals! And I don't know what my grade is, but I probably passed. Hopefully. I mentioned that last time, so I felt the need to mention that again. She began to climb the stairs in the entrance hall. Just then, in the faint darkness down the stairs behind Rosa's back, something glowed. It was a single, fluttering gold butterfly. Fluttered around and sparkled. The butterfly danced about without a sound. It was only natural. No one could hear the sound of a butterfly's wings beating. And then, it came to rest on Rosa's back as she slowly climbed the stairs. Rosa didn't notice it.
Oh, yeah. I just saw Rosa and I tried to read.
If someone not in the know saw it, probably assumed it was a single sheet of gold leaf in the shape of a butterfly that had been stuck there. Without noticing a thing, Rosa continued heading towards Kinzo's study. So, do you think there's actually a golden butterfly there? On her back?
Maybe that's just... No maybes. I think that's just like an allegory for someone watching her.
You really like using allegory over metaphor. That So, how will you entertain me with this one? There's so many pieces left.
What's the difference between an allegory and a metaphor, actually?
An allegory is an abstract idea or thought that's put into, usually personified, I think. I've watched the Arthur Frankenstein, Jekyll and Hyde. Look up Arthur, Jekyll, Jekyll, Hyde after this. In the parlor, which had fallen silent again, the only sound was that of the TV that Muriel was watching alone. If there's anything audible besides that, it was the sound of the rain, which had continued on and on since the previous night. Speaking of audible, check out ebooks on... No. You know, that's a common sponsorship
Stop trying to get sponsored!
Please sponsor me. I mean, I read books. That's the perfect thing. You could hire me even. I could read books for you. You could branch out into the visual novel market. Every one of those would witness that unearthly and horrible scene stayed silent, as though praying that the events of that morning had been all but a dream. Because Kumasawa alone hadn't seen it, her reaction was slightly different. The silence itself seemed more unbearable to her. She was anxious to encourage everyone somehow. However, she was aware that she must avoid saying anything careless. She seemed to be pondering how she could be most helpful. Normally, it would be time for breakfast. However, possibly because something so outrageous had happened, Dota seemed to have forgotten to prepare a meal. Or maybe everyone was so beaten up that they'd forgotten their hunger. Kumasawa wanted to bring up the subject of what they should do for breakfast, but it didn't seem like the right atmosphere, so she really couldn't. But she really was hungry. So she casually made a proposal. It seems everyone is tired after all that has happened. Times like this, I think the best thing is to heat yourselves with some warm black tea. Indeed, that is an excellent plan. I agree as well. Oh ho 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 ho! Tosa Kagin! How about some delicious black tea with biscuits and jam?
She pleasures old men for money.
Ah yes, I hear Halloween will be here soon. We have some delicious looking pumpkin chipped cookies on the shelf.
No!
Ah, Kumasawa-san, nuts. Of course, she said the wrong thing. She had reminded Battler and the rest about that horrible and tragic Halloween party in the chapel. Nanjo hurriedly whispered into Kumasawa's ear. Butler-san, I'm so sorry.
Stop!
I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to upset you, truly I didn't. No, oh, that's yours.
No, don't worry about it. I'll definitely turn this boiling anger back on the culprit.
I wonder if that culprit is still on the island.
Probably. At least until the typhoon passes, no boat will come.
Yes, that is true. After all, the boats stop coming even when it's just a little windy. They certainly want to come during a typhoon, yes. It creeps me out.
You think so, Aniki? Me too. And that's even putting aside whether the culprit, or whether the culprit's that mystery guest or not.
Oh, better time? Better time? Oh, no. Just transition to painting. Indeed. We've naturally suspected the mysterious guest who calls herself Beatrice, but we still cannot be certain she's the culprit. There's still the possibility she's a victim whose corpse still hasn't been found. When I think of it that way, there's something I just can't understand. What do you mean by that?
It's simple. It's just like Kumasawa Bacha said a short while ago. Right now, this island is in the middle of a typhoon, and escape is impossible. Same thing goes for the culprit. In that case, having the crime come to light should have been the thing the culprit wanted to avoid most.
I see. So there's no need to draw that creepy magic circle on the entrance to the chapel to show off the fact that the corpses were there.
Yeah, that's it. If they were able to take the effort to do something horrible, so horrible to those 6 people, it should have been possible for them to hide the 6 corpses where they'd be impossible to find.
I agree. That brutal Halloween party probably wasn't directed at those who died. It was directed at the people who would eventually discover it. Us. It's probably safe to say that the magic circle was there to help us find it. You think this is Battler or George? I'll say it's George. The culprit knows they won't be able to escape from this island for a while. Yet, they acted as though they wanted to make us find the corpses in the middle of this typhoon. What does it mean? If I were the culprit, I definitely want to play around and make us find the bodies. Beatrice-sama was not in her room, and the room did not seem particularly disturbed. Ah, no, my lady did disturb me quite a lot, though. Hey, we haven't seen Jessica in a while. Oh, yeah, there we go.
Battler's me. I was thinking about that too. Come to think of it, what happened to Jessica?
It's almost like she died.
Almost. It's crazy, right?
Ken and Son is looking after her. They're probably in my lady's room. That isn't good. The culprit is definitely still on the island. Song's playing. In this situation, I don't believe it's a very good idea to isolate ourselves in small numbers. What do you mean by that? You don't mean to say the culprit plans to kill all of us? What? That's what it says.
Could you do that one more time for me?
Let us remain calm. That is not yet certain.
But unfortunately, we can't deny the possibility exists.
Yeah, let's laugh at the fact that my cousin could be getting murdered right now.
This letter was in the chapel. According to this, the culprit is the witch, and if we don't solve the riddle of grandfather's epitaph and find the gold, they'll massacre the whole family. Or something like that.
Is that true? Would you allow me to read it as well? Eek, eek. Umu. Just like what you had the witch's letter. Doda Kumasawa and Nanjo's faces grew even paler than they had been. Kumasawa could no longer hide her shaking.
If you don't want to die, try finding your grandfather's hidden gold. Is that it? Screwing around with us. I'll bet she can't solve the riddle, so she's trying to make us solve it.
Oh, I wonder what the truth is. I think this is George.
How did I...
Oh, madam.
What?
What? Something happened?
Why does Battler think the same thing I do?
Where? Trying to find... Screwing around with us. I bet she can't solve the riddle, so she's trying to make us... Oh, okay. I zoned out there for a second, sorry. Well, man, I kind of led you to that conclusion a little, so I mean... You know... It's almost like I did that on purpose.
Stop Beatricing me!
However, I wonder what the truth is. Madam always stated that the legend of the gold was nothing more than an illusion created by the master. Is this Kumasawa or Goda? Goda doesn't usually talk this long, so I think it's Kumasawa. It's doubtful whether it actually existed. No idea who this is. Battler, maybe?
True. Supposedly they thought it would be nice if it did exist, but only half believed it. The relatives only started believing in the legend of the gold only after Kinzo's help. Oh. It's probably Nanjo.
Yeah. I'll just continue where you left off. After Kinzo-san's health worsened and then Hiran's problem came up. Till then, hardly anyone believed in it. I understand. Oh, so maybe that's why. Do you remember? This is someone who's in the chapel. Goda, do you remember? On the table in the chapel, there were 3 gold ingots. That alone would be worth quite a lot. Doesn't that prove that the legend of the gold is real? Excuse me, please wait. Just now, did you say there were 3 gold bars?
Yeah, there were definitely 3 of them piled up.
Actually, we said gold ingots.
So what?
I happened to hear Cross-sama say something once. Yes, I just happened to hear it, you see. It's not like I was trying to listen in on secret discussions, no indeed.
Don't worry about that now. So then what? Is there something wrong with there being 3 of those gold bars?
Yes. According to Cross-sama, there's only 1 bar ever found to support the legend of the gold. That is correct. I believe Kinzo-san showed the president of Maruso a mountain of gold and let him take 1 bar back with him, or so the story goes. That 1 bar came to be Cross-sama's possession, and he said that no other gold supporting the master's legend of the gold exists.
You're talking about Uncle Kraus here, so what does that mean?
Hey guys, remember Jessica, like, getting killed?
No, wait. 3? Wait, where did they come from? That's too many, right?
Perhaps there's another explanation. Maybe their other relatives also found 1 each. They each brought 1 of them there. No, I cannot believe that. When all of the relatives came to the mansion, I was entrusted with their luggage. I did not feel a suspicious weight back then. I think those would weigh about 10 kilograms. If that much weight was in their bags, even I would notice. But it didn't seem that way.
Same here. At most, there were some changes of clothes, a first aid kit, Kirie-san's makeup, stuff like that, I think. Aunt Rose's luggage also looked pretty light.
In that case, those 3 piled up gold bars we bring shown to them. Or maybe to us. The legend of the gold is definitely real. It isn't an illusion. They're telling us to try and find out the secret if we can. Could they be scheming to have us solve the epitaph which points to where the gold is hidden? They try to snatch it away? Oh no, Grant. Golda just said your theory. It's over.
Yeah, that does make some sense. But there are a couple parts that don't fit. To start, our parents, who should have been the most likely to solve the epitaph, were killed first. It seems to create a contradiction right off the bat to me. If something makes even less sense. If the legend of the gold is actually true, then how are they able to pile up all that gold? It's almost like the culprit's already found the gold, and is telling us to try to find it too.
Maybe the culprit found those 3 like Uncle Kraus did. Maybe that convinced them that the legend is true, but they're trying to make a search for the rest. I think that way fits the best.
Pieces on the chessboard aren't lined up at all. We don't have a clue what the culprit is planning, what they want, or what they want to make us do. Is there any point? No matter what we think, is there anything we can figure out right now?
It was written down. What she wanted to make us do. Couldn't anyone read it? Maria suddenly laughed in a creepy voice. Oh, readily now.
I thought she'd been concentrating on the TV, but apparently she'd been listening in too. Without turning away from the TV, she very simply told us what we were forgetting.
Beatrice hasn't said once that she wants the gold. All she's asking is whether you're all capable of solving the epitaph's riddle or not. Though I'll bet she's pretty sure you could never do it.
So are you saying you can solve it, Maria?
I don't care. I figure she'll take me to the Golden Land. So I won't get in Beatrice's way. Ouch!
In any case,
Stop Maria abuse.
It looks like we'll have to ask Maria if we want to learn anything more. Maria, tell us. Who is this Beatrice? What is she planning?
You know, Beatrice is a witch. She can do anything with her strange powers. The power of magic can do anything. It can even create gold or bread. And of course it can create sweets too, right? You saw it, didn't you? Wait, she's referring to us, the reader. Battler didn't see, but we saw. Oh. It's probably still battling.
Okay. At that time, everyone jumped at the sound of a door being slammed shut. When we turned around, we saw that Rosa had suddenly returned, bringing Genji and Shannon. Then she rapidly approached Maria, her heels squeaking, and hit her on the cheek. Stop talking about that. Battler-kun and the rest will take it badly.
Ooh. Ow.
Without waiting for a response, she hit Maria's cheek once more. Everyone could only stand there, stunned. I don't know what ooh means. What about yes?
Ooh. Ow.
She mercilessly hit Maria's cheek again. Maybe Maria didn't feel like resisting after being hit twice. She weakly said yes.
Rosa-san, there's no reason to be so harsh.
This is my daughter's education. Do not interrupt. Oh, goodness. The atmosphere around Rosa, with Genji and Shannon standing at attention behind her, was somehow cold, and yet dignified. Completely different from how she had seemed before she left. She was holding something that looked like a gun. Couldn't imagine what she'd be holding. That she'd be holding a toy in this situation.
Aunt Rosa, what is...
This is father's. Because of the current situation, I borrowed it specially.
Well, hold on, I want to see if the pachinko sprites for this.
Everyone should understand.
Yeah,
I gotta see the original sprites for this. Oh my god.
Don't look at the fingers.
That's amazing.
Ikushi can't draw hands.
The culprit is still nearby. We don't know what might happen.
I agree. Rather than trying to figure out what the culprit is planning, it'd be better to first think about our own safety.
Well?
Don't make me leave again.
Father was fine, but he was considerably shaken by these sudden events. Fortunately, he said he won't leave his room, so he should be safe. For now, we should all try to stay together as much as possible. I agree. We don't even know where the culprit's hiding, and after all, there's no proof that there's only one of them.
I'll
Even
let
though I
that
said it
pass.
myself, I shivered. That's right. Could a single person kill 6 people and set up such a horrible scene all alone? Isn't it natural to assume that this crime was carried out by multiple culprits?
I agree with Rosa-san. Probably is good for us to stay together. Yes, yes, I think it's good too. Yes, yes. Maybe it's about time we called for my lady and Cannon-san. Cannon-san. That's right. Let's have them come down.
Georgianiki tried to grab the extension phone, but Goda-san shook his head. That's right. The phones are down right now, aren't they? I'll go with a couple of people. Georgianiki and Goda-san come too. That should be enough. No. Let's all go together. It's a wolves and sheep puzzle. If we're in balance while gathered together like this, then maintaining this situation will be safest.
I mentioned this to you earlier today about how it'd be going into this.
Did you do this on purpose?
Yes.
A wolves and sheep puzzle?
Ooh, I've got it. I'll show you.
Maria, turn off the television. Genji-san, please tell me where Jessica Chan's room is. Let's all go together. Yes, I will guide you. Come on, everyone. We'll move together. Follow my instructions. We stood up. Maria alone looked like she had some regrets about turning off the TV. But she decided to go along with everyone for now and got up.
Shannon, thank goodness. I was a bit worried when you took so long to get back.
I'm sorry to have worried you. The master ordered me to transcribe something for him.
Transcribe?
Shannon. I'm sorry, excuse me. We headed for Jessica's room, with the armed Aunt Rosa and Genji-san in the lead. Jessica and Cannon-kun were a boy and a girl of about the same age. It'd sure be a shame if we barged in on them at a bad time. Or at least that's what we'd be joking about normally. However, Aunt Rosa was on edge, constantly exuding a sense of tension. So it definitely wasn't that sort of atmosphere for careless remarks like that. Hey, don't fall behind! Everyone move together. We don't know when or where the culprit might leap out at us, right?
She's like the generic soldier in, like, you know, an FPS single player mode.
Yeah. No, maybe Aunt Rosa's attitude was more appropriate. Since Grandfather hadn't come down, Aunt Rosa was our leader. This wasn't a situation where she could smile like she always did. And Aunt Rosa was a mother, too. She probably also thought that if she didn't get a hold of herself, some harm might befall her beloved daughter.
Beloved?
The culprit had killed 6 of our parents. The method they had used was unknown, but there was a good chance this opponent could take down a large number of people in a flash. Would that be with weapons, or with numbers? Or with the magic of a witch? Or just exist? In any case...
What did you say?
I don't think it... Nothing.
Oh, did you say witches don't exist?
I did. I couldn't think of any reasons why it'd be okay to let our guards down. The rest of us had better take much, much greater care, just like Aunt Rosa. Everyone, stop! Aunt Rosa spoke in a sharp voice. Wondering what this was all about, we peered forwards, and immediately realized the reason. What is this?
Eep! That's Kumasawa.
Everyone get back. Goda-san and Genji-san approached the door. Beyond this door was probably Jessica's room.
This seems to be the same paint that was scribbled on the door to the chapel.
It appears so. It seems not much time has passed since before it was drawn. What the heck? Is that another magic circle?
It's the first magic circle of the moon. It has the power to open unopening doors. That's very useful in puzzle games.
Drawn on the door to Jessica's room was the same kind of creepy scribble that had been drawn on the door to the chapel. That strange pattern must have some occult meaning. But it didn't matter what meaning it was. We were worried about whether those two were okay.
That doesn't matter. Are Jessica-chan and Kanen-kun safe? This does not bode well. We should quickly bring those two downstairs. My lady! My lady! Are you there? Please answer!
Goda-san knocked violently and yelled, but there was no answer. He gripped the doorknob with a clatter, but the lock just resisted him. Rosa-sama, it appears to be locked. There's no helping it. Please open it up. Genji nodded, and Goda quickly unlocked the door with the master key.
I think this is third person now. Usually, Natalie says Goda-san.
Oh.
We'll see. Oh, no. Okay. That was just...
In the back of my mind, horrible images floated up and disappeared, one after another. The magic circle had been drawn on the door to the chapel. Behind that lay 6 corpses. So if there's a magic circle drawn on the door to Jessica's room, then beyond it must be...
Jessica-sama!
What happened? Is she there? Jessica! What happened? It was truly heartless. The expression on Goda-san's face and the cry as he opened the door prepared us for the brutal fate that Jessica had met before we even saw her.
There's a CG for this, but I don't have it ready, so I'll send it to you
Everyone
after
rushed
this.
into Jessica's room at once. That scene told everyone their worst fears were spat on.
Spat on?
Spat on. Jessica! How horrible. Dr. Nanjo!
Oh!
Inside...
Summary. I mean, character.
Oh, new character?
Well, that sound effect was the character being updated. Hers is in red now.
Oh, Jessica.
Found in her own room in the mansion with a weapon chipped like a stake rammed into her back. Finally, at the very end, she got to be with the person she loved. She must have been happy. Okay, you can go on.
Inside the room, which seemed elegant for the bedroom of one so young, Jessica laid crumpled on the ground. There was a large pool of blood on the floor. There was a knife or something sticking deep into her back. Was it a knife? There was a design on the handle that just had to symbolize something demonic. Had to be a weapon? With some sort of occult meaning.
This is horrible. She has passed away. It's probably reached her lungs. How much time has passed since you died?
Jessica! Damn it! Damn it! Battler-sama. I was naive. I knew it! Since the culprit couldn't escape the island, they were definitely close by. So why did I get cautious sooner? I was naive. I just assumed that a culprit would commit their crime and then just sneak away and hide.
You're stunned then. I thought Jessica-chan giving in to her age and running off was just something that couldn't be helped. But we were naive. We should have stopped her.
Koda-san, why did you leave those two alone? If only you had been with them. Something like this.
No, that is, I said it was dangerous, so we should return. It's just that the lady said that she wanted to be alone. Cannon-san told me to leave it to him, and... Speaking of which, where's Cannon-san? Oh, I think we got cannons now. Yep. He's grayed out. Servant Cannon. The witch erased his corpse for fun. That alone caused an incredible uneasiness among the survivors. That which resides in the human world, and that which does not exist is truly fantasy. Fantasy takes the form of what they fear.
Cannon-kun.
Oh.
Where?
Did you skip a line?
No.
I think you skipped George. That's right. What in the world happened to Cannon-kun? Yeah.
Okay. You repeat the line I just said.
Cannon-kun, where?
No.
Cannon-san should have been with Milady. Where in the world did he go?
You don't think they got him? Quiet. Someone might be hiding in this room. Search under the bed and the closet. There was a chance that Cannon-kun's corpse had been pushed away somewhere. At Rosa-san's order, everyone searched throughout the room together. But there wasn't a single human hiding anywhere. He's nowhere! Could the culprit have taken him out of the room? Then we'll have to search for him quickly and save him. If we're slow, something awful might happen. Aunt Rosa, let's search all over the mansion. Let's search for the culprit. Let's save Cannon-kun. Quiet! When Aunt Rosa yelled at us, we fell instantly silent. She was probably contemplating something. However, what in the world could that be? Aunt Rosa walked around the room as though looking for something, or as though she was collecting her thoughts.
Look at that couch! Was that a love scene?
Mirror? Oh. Then, she found something on the side table by the bed and picked it up. If anyone knows, tell me. Which key is this? Aunt Rosa showed everyone a key with a cute mascot attached to it. Judging from his cute appearance, I didn't doubt that it was Jessica's key, but I had no way of knowing for sure. It is probably the key to this room. To my lady's room. After hearing that, Aunt Rosa made a point of going outside the door and checking. Without a doubt, it was the key to this room. I wonder why it was set in a place like this. Wouldn't you normally keep such an important key in your pocket? Milady wasn't in the habit of locking her room. It seems she would only do it when she went to school, because she didn't want someone like Kraus-sama to look inside her room. I see. She wasn't at school, so it's natural Jessica-chan would set the key down here. How many keys can open this door?
Just the one my lady had.
Can't it be opened with your master keys? They can open it. How many master keys are there? Are all of the servants holding them? Are there extras?
Yes. We all have one. As for extras, I wonder.
There used to be several, but Madame scolded us harshly, saying that it was careless, so they should have been dealt with. That is correct. There is only one held by each servant. There are no more.
Here we go!
Is that a red truth? Wait a sec. I think we talked about extra master keys in the last game, right?
Indeed. Well, regarding that, I've noticed that having several master keys whose locations are unknown is quite disadvantageous for me.
That's probably right. Since you want to make me believe in magic using closed rooms, it'd really hurt you if there were more master keys than we thought. After all, every time a trick involving locks shows up, I plan to resist by arguing that the culprit had a master key that someone lost in the past or a duplicate.
Yes, that's correct. So I've decided to make a move to defeat that.
Fun.
I'll update our setting. The only master keys are the ones held by the servants. One key each.
Hey, The only master keys are the ones held by the students. One key each. Whatever. Messing with me. More importantly, what kind of move is this? What's Aunt Rosa talking about?
Who knows? You should try listening in.
Anyways, that's why I think Umineko is a great game.
What?
Oh, I should start reading again.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. I have the situation sorted out. What is this smug Rosa?
Whoa! We got bongos! Fish aroma bongos!
And I've been able to pinpoint the culprit who assaulted Jessica-chan, or at least one of their accomplices. What did you say? Who is it?
Aunt Rosa, you don't mean Cannon-kun, do you?
Huh? What? Why Cannon-kun? This room was locked, and the only keys that can unlock it are the master keys, each held by a servant, and the key that Jessica had. But when Jessica-chan's key was closed up in here, which means it's only possible that one of the master keys locked this room up. It is as you say. In that case, someone killed Jessica, then locked the door. That person had a master key, and there were only 5 people with master keys.
Oh my! It wasn't me, not me. No, I could never do such a thing.
Kumasawa-san got up late. After we returned from the chapel to the parlor, we did meet you there, but it's impossible to prove where you were and what you were doing until that time. You watched us from the shadows, chased after Jessica-kun and Cannon-kun when they were isolated, and stealthily attacked them.
Are you saying you visited Milady's room? It's something so horrible? I didn't know such thing. Yes, no such thing.
What about you, Goda-san? You said you left Jessica-chan and Cannon-kun's care and returned. But I wonder if that's true. Maybe you actually killed the 2 of them, hid Cannon's corpse, and then came back with an innocent look on your face.
Nothing of the sort happened. I go to swear that I did not do anything like that.
It wasn't us. We were following the Master's orders, and... Yes, you and Genji-san alone are clean. That's backed up by what I heard from Father. The 2 of you were in Father's room the whole time, transcribing and witnessing for him. Father and I can guarantee that. Thank you very much. In that case, the argument becomes... Who is more suspicious, Goda-san or Kumasawa-san? I thought that myself after entering this room, but still, I found it strange. Look at the state of Jessica's body. Doesn't everyone think it's strange?
Strange, you say?
Jessica-chan was struck in the back. Come on, they say it all the time, right? That in crimes where the victim is struck in the back, there's a high likelihood the culprit was someone whose face was known to the victim. She definitely wouldn't invite a person that she didn't trust into her room and defenselessly expose her back. Rosa-sama, you don't mean to say that it was Cannon-kun, do you? I do. We're all fully aware of the state Jessica-chan was in right before she was killed.
Wait, hold on. I want your opinion. Do you think it was Cannon?
Yes.
Oh, you don't?
No.
No? Do you have any idea who it was, then? I mean, with the master keys, it was likely a servant in that case. And I mean, isn't it pretty suspicious that Cannon's gone? I mean, I don't know. Or maybe it's just magic.
I'll think on that one a little bit more and get back to you.
Okay.
After seeing her parents' tragic bodies, Jessica-chan was very panicked. It's easy to imagine that, after she regained her composure, she'd be in a horrible slump. It would be very understandable if Jessica's frame of mind led her to shut herself up alone in her room. And those particulars match with Goda-san's story. Jessica-chan said to leave her alone. Then Canon-kun, who is of a similar age and who may have some adolescent relationship with her, said to leave this matter in his hands. That feeling is also very understandable. So for that reason, I think Jessica-chan welcomed Canon-kun into her room. But what if it had been Goda-san or Kumasawa-san? Would she have let them into her room?
I believe I have gained my lady's trust. But even so,
Oh, then I guess you're still a suspect after all, Goda-san. I assume Jessica-chan probably didn't like you very much, so I didn't think she would have let you into her room. I was convinced that you couldn't possibly be the culprit, but maybe I was mistaken?
No, I'm sad to say that I might not have been accepted by milady. Well, what about you, Kumasawa-san? We are probably too separated by age to understand the feelings of a young person like milady very well. For the same reason, perhaps milady never opened up her heart to us. Right, Goda-san? She's like, I don't elbows him. Yes, that's right. It would have been quite difficult for her to open up her heart to the likes of us. And it would have been inconceivable for milady to let us into our room when she was grieving.
Goda-san and Kumasawa-ba-chan each rubbed their hands together, affirming each other with forced smiles on their faces. It was truly an unpleasant rondo.
Of truth and reasoning.
It was a person who might be allowed to enter Jessica-chan's rooms while she was grieving. A person who might have been given access to her defenseless back, and who had a master key.
Nocturne and Illusions or Truth and Reasoning? It's one of those. Another name for the question arcs is Rondo of something.
That really points to one suspect. Whoops. Is it possible for anyone except Canon-kun? Please wait. Canon-kun definitely wouldn't do something like... Oh? Then is there someone else? Is Goda-san or Kumasawa-san suspicious after all? Who do you think is more suspicious, Shannon-chan? Come on. I could never...
It wasn't me, Shannon-san. Yes, it was not me. Of course, it wasn't me either. The ones who had close relationships with my lady were Canon-san. And after him, you, right?
Yeah, isn't that right? Jessica-chan might also let Shannon-chan into her room. You were supposedly with father, but in reality, could you be the culprit?
Shannon couldn't be the culprit. Didn't you just say she was doing some important work with grandfather?
Yes, I know. Neither Shannon-chan nor Genji-san is the culprit. Father confirmed that they were together the whole time. Well then, what do you think, Mina buddy? After being told that, no one could respond. Even if someone did manage to argue back, they didn't have to offer the name of a different suspect. And no matter who that suspect was, it would have to be someone right here. No one could do something like that. Aunt Rosa glanced at everyone in turn, fingering the gun like it was a toy. She seemed so different from the kind Aunt Rosa I knew. No, it's probably because I'm not fully aware of the danger we're in. Maybe Aunt Rosa's attitude would seem natural if I could truly sense the peril surrounding us. It looks like no one has an opinion, then I'll give you mine. Of course, I can't deny the possibility that Canon-kun's a victim of that corpse. But until we find that corpse, I certainly can't rule Canon-kun out as a suspect. There's a chance that he'll suddenly appear again, claiming to have been attacked with the culprit and confined somewhere. But take care. Most likely... No. There's no doubt about it. Canon-kun killed Jessica-chan. No way! I can't believe it. Canon did that to milady? That's too much.
I feel the same as Shannon. I'm opposed to labeling Canon-kun as the culprit.
Then is the culprit Goda-san or Kumasawa-san? Tell me who's more suspicious.
It wasn't us. Times 2.
If it wasn't Canon, then who could have locked this door? How about it, Shannon-chan, George-kun? Huh? 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 Aunt Rosa closed in on Shannon-chan and George Aniki, laughing unpleasantly.
How do you feel about Smug Rosa?
That's weird. Of course, they couldn't say anything back. They wanted to believe in Canon-kun, but if they did, they'd have to suspect the other servants. The simplest culprit was the mystery guest, Beatrice. She was nothing more than a guest and couldn't have a master key. So if Beatrice is the culprit, despite lacking a master key, do we have to accept the argument that she really is a witch who locked the door with the power of magic? That's a dirty argument. Dirty. So dirty.
What are you worried about? Make it my fault. You can just make it the fault of the 19th person, the mystery guest, right? If you do, you won't have to watch this ugly battle of humans blaming each other, right? Cut. Not wild.
So then what? The culprit is the 19th person, the guest Beatrice? She's a witch, so she could lock the door without a key, using magic. Are you telling me to accept that? Damn it! Damn it! Damn it!
Look at that troll face. The last game I learned all your weak points. So what will you do? What will you do? You said you definitely wanted to accept me, right? Then you can use Cannon as a perfect sacrifice he is. Perfect sacrifice he is. Cannon killed Jessica. If you support Rose's theory, everything is settled here, right? Cannon is already dead. There should be no need to show concern for the dead. And you won't have to suspect anyone in this room.
Damn it! I won't accept you, but Cannon-kun being the culprit is impossible.
I don't want to suspect anyone. However, at times, there's no smoke without fire. Turns out to be true. Anyway, you can never be too cautious.
Dr. Nanjo, what do you mean by that?
Please do not misunderstand. I do not wish to label Cannon-san as the culprit. However, until we understand the situation, there's a possibility that he's the culprit. And I believe thinking that way is safer. Oh, yes, that's right. You cannot be too cautious.
The general consensus certainly didn't seem to find fault with Nanjo for what he said. True, no one actually thought Cannon was the culprit. But unless they suspected him, they'd have to suspect one of the servants here. We didn't want to do that. We didn't want to suspect. We didn't want to be suspected. That's correct. We cannot be too vigilant. I take it no one objects to that, right? Understand? There's a very high likelihood that these murders are connected to Father's legend of the gold. That means the crime must have been plotted by someone who wants to keep a vast amount of gold, worth several 10 billion yen, all for themselves. With that kind of money, you could play around for the rest of your life in any country. And with a motivation like that, they might even intend to kill all of us.
So, hold on, I want to stop you again. What's your thoughts about Cannon being the culprit still?
I don't think he could do it.
Why do you say that?
Well, you're not gonna kill somebody you love.
I mean, how well do you know Cannon? This is a detective novel. Anyone can be the culprit.
I mean, I don't know anyone well, but I want to believe. But
I mean, you want to believe
it's fair
in him?
to say
Are you
that
battler?
no one else is more suspicious.
Exactly. Like, in this scenario, isn't he he's easily the most suspicious. I mean, that could be a red herring.
But that's what you want me to think.
Yeah, I'm trying to make you think it's a red herring, but actually he is the culprit, and he's a red herring. But actually, by saying this, he's actually a red herring. And then he didn't do it, but I'm trying to make you think that he did.
Long story short, Nicholas is not going to help me out.
I don't want you to eliminate the possibility that the obvious culprit did it, though. I think that's something easily dismissed.
Well, it's so weird because it's obvious.
Yeah, that's true. But you'll learn more with Red, so you have time to think about it. Just, I want you to consider every option when analyzing Umineko.
I guess I'm not going to get too many red truths, am I?
What do you mean by eat them? You don't eat them, you listen to them.
I said I guess I'm not going to get many of them.
Oh, get many. You'll get them in time.
Okay.
Maybe not as much as the first one, but still some.
Because she didn't have the master key, the 19th person, the guest Beatrice, is removed from the suspicion of the murder of Jessica Chan alone. But we cannot conclude she's unrelated to the crime. After all, it's a vast amount of gold we're talking about. We can't deny the possibility that there are multiple culprits. Right now, one of the people here among us might have been bought by the culprit.
Why does Yoza wear a bib?
So she doesn't spill food on herself? What are you, dumb? As Aunt Rosa yelled, she looked all around, her gun still raised. Don't believe anyone. Suspect the person next to you. That's what she was saying. But no one wanted to suspect. They didn't want to suspect anyone here. That weakness in their hearts demanded an answer from those not present. There are only two ways you can be sure someone isn't a suspect. If it's yourself, or if they're already no more than a corpse. The same goes for Cannon-kun. Until we catch sight of his corpse, he is most likely suspect in Jessica Chan's murder. So take care. Even if he's still alive, even if he smooths things over with some explanation, you definitely mustn't trust him. Got it?
That was conveniently timed with thunder.
No one gave an answer of their own initiative. However, those who met Aunt Rosa's eyes had to nod their heads. Humans are beings who live by molding themselves to fit society. In other words, from the time they're born, trusting each other is genetically imprinted on them. It's unpleasant to go against that. They never want to suspect someone, but if they're forced to suspect someone, they find it safest to choose someone who isn't present at that moment. For the purpose of safety, nothing more, they half-heartedly chose Cannon to be the suspect.
I think that's a sacrifice. Yeah.
Whoops. That's ridiculous. I definitely don't want to believe that Cannon-kun is the culprit. I'd heard it from George Aniki just now. But not only were those two close in age, they also had that kind of adolescent relationship that Aunt Rosa had mentioned. It may be a little late now, but yes, they really did have that kind of air about them. After seeing her parents' tragic corpses, Jessica, bearing deep wounds in her heart, would have only trusted Cannon-kun. It was very easy to imagine. That's why I don't like it. Cannon-kun was the only one she trusted, so she wouldn't have let anyone but Cannon-kun in. So, Cannon-kun was the only one that could have killed Jessica? I just can't accept that kind of argument. Understand? Even if Cannon-kun appears, don't let your guards down. As long as we cannot prove Cannon-kun's innocence, we will assume that Cannon-kun is the culprit who killed Jessica-chan. That was Aunt Rosa's claim. By using the vague word assume, she managed to convince everyone in the end.
I like how you said assume.
Everyone nodded weakly. And with the excuse that they were just assuming it for the time being, they concluded that Cannon was the culprit who had killed Jessica. I wonder what the dead Jessica and Cannon would think if they could hear this exchange. Jessica was crying.
I don't think this is first person anymore.
Oh.
Jessica was crying. She's crying into the chest of the person who would put his life on the line to fight for her, Cannon. Bradley's not a sidekick, he can't see ghosts. It was frustrating. So frustrating that it felt like her chest would explode. She grieved and resented how far the dignity of the dead had been trampled.
How can those guys treat Cannon-kun like the culprit?
Because there's no corpse.
How can they treat you like the culprit just because there's no corpse? You risked your life to fight for me, right? Then that would erase the corpse for fun. For them to call you the culprit after that, it's horrible. It's too horrible.
It's okay. I wasn't able to protect you in the end. But I was able to be of use to you in our final minutes.
Why doesn't everyone understand that? Stop it, Aunt Rosa! Don't call Cannon-kun the culprit with that messed up logic.
She isn't saying I'm the culprit. She's just saying I'm suspicious. No, she's saying to be careful.
She is saying it! These people are saying you're the culprit so they can stop thinking. They aren't thinking about who the culprit who killed me is anymore. They aren't thinking of the possibility that you are the culprit. And after this, every time something happens, they'll use the excuse that Cannon-kun did it, since we don't know where he is. I can't stand that!
It's okay. At least you know the truth.
If only I knew the truth, that's pointless! I know it after dying. Truth belongs to living humans. If the truth doesn't remain, the dead won't be rewarded. You don't know what Cannon-kun risked his life for.
That wow. Truly a splendid sight. You hardly ever find a sweeter honey than the laments of the dead. Lament.
There you go.
No matter how much you lament, the voices of the dead never reach the living.
Lament. Damn it! Doesn't matter who. Hear my voice. Cannon-kun isn't the culprit. Cannon-kun's corpse was just erased. Why? Why don't you understand that? Because that means magic exists.
What are your other A, except magic exists, or B, accept magic exists and trust canon, or B, where magic doesn't exist but don't trust canon.
There's a C option somewhere.
Exactly. Classic visual novel protagonist. Milady.
I can't stand this. It's too sad. I hate it. She hates it. This way, it's like Kaneko died for nothing, right? The honor of the dead means nothing unless it's acknowledged by the living. It doesn't matter who. Notice it. Notice it, please. Kaneko isn't the culprit. Ah! Don't go. Don't go. Everyone. Please don't let it end like this. Don't go. Don't go.
Nice. We're back to the first person, I think.
Rosa announced this. It would say.
Yeah, okay. Rosa announced that this room would be sealed until the police came. The rest didn't want to suspect each other, so they happily accepted that. For now, they accepted that Cannon was the culprit. Without even imagining how much disgrace that gave to the dead, they accepted it. My lady, you've done enough. Thank you.
Don't go! Don't go, everyone! I'm begging you, come back! Don't leave us behind like this! Don't keep treating Cannon-kun as the culprit! Ah!
It won't reach. The laments of the dead never reach. You make me laugh, yes. That face of yours makes me laugh. Do you think your voice will reach them? It won't reach, will it, Jessica? Also cute little things. Times 4.
It's all useless.
Dread of the grave!
Huh? Paddler-kun, did you say something? Yeah. It's all useless.
No, it's useless. It's all useless.
It's all useless.
Damada! Zen, zen! Damada! Just as everyone was about to leave the room, Battler stood alone with his back to them, still looking down at Jessica's corpse.
What do you mean it's all useless? Do you have some objection? I agree that we've got to stay on our guards. Sorry, I'm not buying into all that about Cannon-kun being the culprit.
Oh, so you're speaking up at a time like this. If Cannon wasn't the culprit, and it wasn't my doing, how do you explain this closed room that Jessica's room has become?
To be honest, I don't even have a clue on that point. Seriously, why'd I have to go and say it's all useless? Guess I'd better take responsibility for my own words. I'm empty-handed with 0 weapons to argue with, but I'm not gonna sit around on the sidelines anymore, Beatorichi. Battler-sama.
Is there some proof that Cannon-kun isn't the culprit? The expression that rose to those two faces was definitely one of anticipation. They didn't want to believe that Cannon was the culprit. They really believed in Cannon. So, they're expected because they wanted me to strengthen their belief in him even more. Oh, the first person now.
First person.
Yeah. Wait, what?
Why was most of that in first person and now we're back to third person?
That's a good thing to ask. Why does the perspective change? You should think about that. And when it changes.
Then, Battler-kun, which of the other servants do you suspect? Goto-san? Or is it Kumasawa-san? Quit it, Aunt Rosa. I know the person called Kumasawa Ba-chan well. She'll sometimes slack off while on the job, but she always makes things fun for people. Even if her eyes were dazzled by money, she isn't the kind of person who'd kill for it.
Battler-sama.
I just met Goto-san yesterday. Honestly, I still don't really understand him. But there is something I do understand.
I've
never seen anyone who cooks as happily as he does. He's the same. And the same as Kumasawa Ba-chan. Goto-san likes to make people happy. As if a person like that could kill those two who praised his own food as delicious, even if money was piled up in front of him. Then who do you think killed Jessica-chan, Battler-kun? Who do you think shut Jessica up in a room that could only be locked by a master key? Wait. Before I argue about that, there's something I want to make clear. I don't want to talk about if so-and-so is not the culprit, then so-and-so must be the culprit. I just want to talk about how it's completely impossible for Kaneko to be guilty.
You say you can prove that Cannon isn't the culprit? How?
It's actually simple, and it's something I almost overlooked. Beato. Repeat it! And if you can say it, try saying it. Cannon-kun had a master key on him.
Oh.
Cannon-kun doesn't have a master key on him? How could you possibly know that? A short while ago, I heard from Goto-san about what happened. About how Jessica went to raid the VIP room, right before she and Cannon-kun went off on their own. Goto-san, you did a good job remembering it. You protected Kannon's honor.
I did. I heard him say the same thing, but I don't really understand. Could you explain it, Battle-kun? Okay, can you explain it?
That's right! When Jessica unlocked the VIP room, she borrowed the key from Cannon-kun, but didn't give it back. That's basically what I was thinking.
Yeah, sure you were. Likely story.
I mean, I know at one point Jessica got a key, but I wasn't entirely sure if she gave it back or not.
Well, I mean,
but you know, thinking logically where this story is going, I mean, yeah, I guess she probably didn't give it back if you think she's serious. So Cannon-kun doesn't have a master key on him.
Is that really so? True, Goto has no recollection of the master key being returned to Cannon. However, she might have returned it when Goto wasn't looking. How does that prove that it definitely didn't happen? If you could just search the pocket of Cannon's corpse, you'd be able to say for sure, but you can't. It's impossible to prove.
It's all useless. It's actually pretty simple, isn't it? Oh, I saw that facial expression. She's not happy about this. No way! So you're saying that's why Cannon-kun didn't have a key on him? Yeah. And to prove it, all you have to do is search Jessica. Cannon-kun's master key should be in Jessica's pocket. Dr. Nanjo, would you check for us?
Indeed. Do you think this is third person? You go ahead and narrate it anyway.
Okay. Nanjo dashed up to Jessica and searched in her jacket pocket. Everyone was expected.
Move.
Please be there.
Here it is! Is this it?
Yes, that is a master key, without a doubt. In Genji's statement, there was a small ooh of joyful voices. That's Cannon-kun's master key. I'll say it again. Cannon-kun doesn't have a master key on him, so there's no way he could have locked the door. Certainly does appear that way. But Cannon-kun was the last person to meet Jessica-chan. The fact that he's suspicious hasn't changed. Let's give that stuff a rest. Uh-huh. Fundamentally, humans are supposed to be creatures that trust each other. Because we live in a tough world, we learn how to be deeply suspicious. So we suspect everything. We're sad creatures. I won't deny that's our nature. The one thing I won't let you do is reach conclusions without proof. If someone looks suspicious, that doesn't make them guilty, it makes them innocent. Of course the world is filled with wolves. I'm not saying you shouldn't carelessly believe everyone. But if you're gonna conclude that someone's guilty, you'd better have some perfect evidence. Unless you do, don't go around accusing them based on speculation. That's...
I was the one who brought up there's no smoke without fire. That was careless of me. I apologize.
Battler-sama.
Wonderful reasoning, Battler-kun. Thank you too, Goto-san. Because of what you remembered, Cannon-kun's been cleared from suspicion. No, I want to protect that smile of Goto's. Look at the original sprites. You can still see it in the background. Clap, clap, clap. It was the crisp sound of the witch applauding. Did you take a screenshot of Goto's face? Yeah, yep. You did. Well done, well done. Not a bad job.
Crap. Did I fall for that bait piece just like you wanted?
You magnificently proved that Cannon at least couldn't lock the door to this room. The servants should all have had the master keys. With that as proof, Cannon was treated as the culprit, but you've at least managed to clear away that suspicion.
In that case, how did the culprit who killed Jessica lock the door? So that's the problem we have now.
Oh, so I'm gonna ask you this. So since Cannon's probably not suspicious anymore, do you think he's dead? You're hesitating.
Let's think.
I mean, the natural assumption, if Cannon is innocent, he's dead.
But there were no bloodstains on the floor or anything.
That is...
Sorry.
Look, there's a huge pool of blood where Jessica was.
There were no, like...
If they're, like, both pierced by the same weapon, then possibly. But...
There is no... There hasn't been mention of any markings that would say that Cannon got dragged out.
That is also true. There'd at least be some kind of bloodstain if he's dragged out, wouldn't there?
Maybe not even necessarily bloodstain, but at least a scuff mark.
Yeah. That's pretty suspicious. I didn't even think.
You're right. You're right. You didn't?
Well, not now. Maybe I did in the past, I don't remember.
So I...
Well, if you
I want
assume
to
he's
say
alive...
I want to say he didn't die then, but I'm thinking he died later on.
Okay. In that
I guess
case,
we'll find out.
Anyway, let's get on with it. There's not too much more to go at that angle. Well, we could ask that now, but I'm going to ask it later. I'm going to ask you, who do you think the culprit of the second Twilight is?
Okay.
So you be thinking of that. In that case, how did the culprit who killed Jessica lock the door? So that's the problem we have now. Shh. Get your... Oh, this is Battley talking. My bad.
Yep. I got drawn into exactly the flow you wanted.
I got you, didn't I? Furthermore, said something outrageous about not doubting any of the other servants. Well then, I can't wait to see how you try to smooth that over.
Shut up. Let's start right away. You probably just denied anyway.
Yeah. Moving on.
I think this is Beatrice.
No, this is Battley.
Okay. But first, let's check the definition of this room as a closed room.
Very well. First,
Okay.
there are absolutely no types of hidden doors.
Okay.
This door is the only way in or out. The only way to lock this door is with Jessica's single key, or the master keys, only one of which is held by each servant. It's on the second floor, but it is probably possible to enter or leave through the window. However, the window is locked from the inside.
Chill.
You're writing everything down?
Yes.
Did you just want me to copy paste them to you? I can copy paste them to you.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I wrote them all down, but...
There. That's what we have so far. I missed the one earlier. I didn't copy paste that, but anyway, let's move forward. We're pretty high on time.
Okay.
Almost 80 minutes in.
Okay.
It's your line.
Okay, sorry.
But don't stop thinking. If you feel I'm rushing you, just say.
I can spin the chessboard around already. If I start by arguing about the door and the lock, I'll probably be stuck dancing in the palm of your hand.
Do as you like. Well then, what should I repeat?
Repeat it. Cannon-kun was killed in this room.
Very well. Cannon-kun was killed in this room.
That's
and now,
annoying.
if we go to system,
Oh, system?
there's no corpse yet, and yet he's dead. The witch sets on red, so he definitely is dead, even though there's no corpse. And he just has a silhouette now.
Okay.
But I erased his corpse with magic, right?
Again, repeat it. Cannon-kun's corpse is in this room.
I refuse. I can't repeat it. Because I erased the corpse with magic.
Yeah, figures you wouldn't say that. There's gotta be a secret hidden in here somewhere. Damn. Where's the mysterious point I've gotta find? Did they lock it without the master key? Or did they somehow kill those two while they were inside the room and it was locked? Or did they kill those two and then somehow escape? I hate to say it, but I'll have to cover up the moat first. Repeat it. The last time it was locked was due to a master key.
I also refuse that.
This refusing thing is really vague. I don't know if you refuse because it's impossible to repeat, or whether you can repeat it and you're just refusing on purpose.
Back when discussing the lock to the chapel, you completely turned the tables on me. When I have an advantage, there's no need to go out of my way to use red when it might be risky. That's all it is.
I guess that makes sense. Originally, the point of red was to counter my strange theories.
Naturally, I'll use it in a way that works to my advantage. Now that I know I've got to worry about you twisting it around, I won't use it pointlessly. Well then, what move will you use next? Imagine a move placing suspicion on Goda or Kumasawa will be the easiest, yes?
Damn. I feel like you're leading me by the nose and it pisses me off. Stay quiet a bit, I'm thinking.
Of course, this door is the same as the chapel. When locked, it does not permit any form of entry. I'll say more, no trick could have the effect of locking the door from the outside without using a key.
Damn you for always using red when I don't ask for it. Time to step back from square one. For now, I've just got to think. I'll lay out everything I know. First, there are two victims. Jessica and Kennen-kun. Kennen-kun's corpse isn't there, but Beatrice admitted in red that Kennen-kun was killed. So even without a corpse, he's included as a victim. There are a few questionable points, and depending on which I focus on, my line of thought changes a lot. First, after the culprit committed murder in this room, how did they lock it? If we assume the culprit's someone with a master key, it's extremely simple. But I'd like to avoid that if I can. Because I'd have to suspect Goda-san or Kumasawa-san, or maybe even Chan and Genji-san. Here, I noticed something. I was contradicting myself. I was strangling my own neck. I want to deny Beatrice no matter what. I want to erase the existence of that brutal, fickle, ridiculous witch. So, I have to explain everything with humans, not magic. But that also means suspecting some human. I don't want to suspect anyone. Of course, if there's some clear proof, I'll have to believe that that person in question is the culprit. But until that happens, I don't want to suspect people. Am I just naive?
Yes.
Am I just a kid who doesn't want to have my feelings betrayed? And those feelings tell me that this person at least could never commit murder? I want to deny a witch did it, but I also want to deny the human did it. I don't even know what I'm doing right now.
In the first place, the only victory condition on our game was whether or not you could deny my existence. Even though that alone put you at a disadvantage, you've increased the number of victory conditions all by yourself, making your own victory harder.
It's just as she says. If I just argue that someone with the master key did it, this closed room can be broken easily. However, the number of keys that can open this door is limited, and since it's clearly known who has them, using an argument means I'd be suspecting someone I know well. In fact, have I just been averting my eyes from the truth? Even while attacking that closed room trick in the chapel, which was exhilarating to destroy, I propose that someone stole the key from Maria's handbag and returned it. If that theory is right, then the question becomes who could have stolen the key from her handbag. Maria's handbag was probably most unguarded while she slept. In that case, in addition to me, Georgianiki and Jessica are also suspects. So Georgianiki or Jessica is the culprit? Maybe an accomplice? All of her parents have been killed, right? And yet, one of us consented to that and assisted with the crime? We all lamented, mourned, shed tears together in the chapel. What?
Lamented. Joking with you.
And yet one amongst us was lying?
A theory of yours about taking the key out of the handbag and putting it back cast a pronounced suspicion on the cousins, did it not? Despite that, You acted like you didn't even notice. Announcing a theory like that so happily.
Damn it! Doesn't guarantee that one of the family or the servants is the culprit. He spoke about us while hiding in a cardboard box, for example. Oh my god. There's a good chance you could have slunk into our room when we were fast asleep and stolen the key, right?
Perhaps that'll do for that situation. We're suspecting the guest, the 19th person. You won't have to suspect the others. In that case, how is Jessica Chan's room locked? Jessica's room locked, not Jessica Chan. It's no trouble at all for me to open the lock with magic, but of course I don't have a master key. You deny my magic, you also have to deny that I'm a suspect, correct? So in other words, that means suspecting one of the 18.
Oh yeah, thanks for the help. I've managed to sort things out a bit. My goal is to figure out how the 19th person, the human guest Beatrice, committed the crimes. If I do that, I won't have to suspect anyone.
If you can do that, foolish man. This wasn't a closed room from the beginning. After all, there are a total of 6 keys that can open it. And several people possess such keys. You can suspect any of them. Suspect as much as you like. But you want through all the trouble of denying all of them, making a closed room yourself. Understand? This is a closed room born from your mental contradiction. You and no one else sealed that door. Beatrice cackles a lot.
So you're trying to say that I've got 2 options. Accept that a witch opened it with magic, or accept that someone I know is the culprit. Damn, are you trying to fork the rook?
Chess metaphor. I just wanted to show you that moves such as this can exist as well. So what will you do, Ushurmiya battler? Isn't this actually simple? Don't you just have to make sacrifices of that overly self-confident cook and that hag who want to be a loss if she died?
Damn it! If I suspect Goto-san and Kumasawa-san, everything will be fine? It's useless. I can't think of Goto-san as the culprit. I can't think of Kumasawa-san as the culprit. But I won't accept you, no matter what!
In that case, they'd have to enter the room without using magic or a master key. Kill Jessica and Cannon, even erase Cannon's corpse without using magic. How could it be done? How could it have been done so that you can deny me, while still not suspecting anyone else?
I resign.
Huh? Battle-kun, what did you say?
I give up. I was able to prove that Cannon-kun couldn't have locked this door, but that doesn't mean I managed to figure out who killed Jessica. No, that's more than enough. For Cannon's sake, thank you very much. No need to thank me. After all, this means you're under suspicion too, Shannon-chan. Come back!
I wasn't actually going to leave that dead.
And sorry, Aunt Rosa. It's not like I wanted to resist you. I don't want to die. I want to find dead and the rest is true enemy. Sorry for saying something that wasn't cooperative. No, it's okay. I was also a little rash. Let's make up.
She's just fuming on the inside, like stupid battler ruined my cool kid in his culprit theory.
As an aunt and nephew, we have to stay on good terms, right? That's me coming up with theories, and then you just fucking like
denying them.
You just like just jumping up and then smacking my fucking basketball down. Aunt Rosa shifted the gun to one hand and held out the other. I reached out, and for the time being, we shook hands. Aunt Rosa's gaze was sharp. In order to deny the witch, she would sacrifice anyone. That's what her eyes told me. And me? I denied the witch. I wasn't prepared to lose anything. I was probably the one who seemed to be fighting the most, and yet the one who was most separated from reality.
End of chapter. That was 90 minutes, almost, now.
Wow.
And we're skipping forward 3, 4, 5 hours. It's 1 o'clock now, p.m. I assume the next Twilights will be happening next episode. Presumably. Maybe it's a slow episode, though. I'm not sure. But now it's time to talk about the second Twilight. Who do you think the culprit is?
Can you give me the rest of the
Oh,
Red truths for that?
Red Truths? Yeah, hold on. I need to make sure I copy the right ones. Starts with Cannon was killed in this room. No trick could have the... I'm not sure how far down it goes. I'm not sure what the context of some of these are. So those ones I know are good. I think that's it. So, I'm gonna bring up everyone's alibi. You tell me if I get something wrong, okay? Kinzo, Shannon, and Genji were all together in Kinzo's room.
Allegedly.
Yes. That's probably one of the weakest alibis, if not counting like Goda, who was alone for a while. And, so Goda doesn't have an alibi because same with Kumasawa. They're both alibi-wise the most suspicious. Then second most suspicious would be, like I said, Kinzo, Shannon, and Genji. And then the others were together. George, Battler, Maria, Yoza, and Nanjo were together most of the time. Yoza did step out for a moment. If you think she ran up, somehow got a master key, killed both of them, and somehow, But then there's also the 6 who died in the first Twilight, but I think you're pretty certain they all died, right? We saw their corpses with their faces. Faking those deaths would be incredibly difficult, maybe even impossible. So
without magic.
yes, without magic. If there's magic, then he's a witch. And there's also the 19th person, Beatrice. So there's 5 master keys. Cannon had one, which was in Jessica's pocket, meaning there's 4 in play, along with Jessica's room key, which is on her cabinet. Genji has one, Shannon has one, Goda has one, Kumasawa has one. Now, who done it? Is it one of those 4?
Not enough information?
You can't do that! Well, okay, let's say this. Did the culprit use a master key? Could they have gotten into the room without a master key? Let's say that.
Yes.
And then locked it back while also leaving the room.
No, maybe. No.
Exactly.
No. Not without some parlor tricks.
Right. Meaning, would they need a master key?
Yes.
Okay. Then that means there is one in Jessica's pocket, correct? Meaning there's 4 in play. Genji, Shannon, Yoda, and Kumasawa. Has there been anything to foreshadow them having maybe lost or put down the key for a few minutes when it could be taken? No. That's mostly a rhetorical question. There's been nothing in that sort, they would have said something.
I was trying to think, but no.
Which, that means the natural conclusion if a master key is used, one of the servants is either the culprit themselves or an accomplice. So, who done it? Maybe I'm leading your reasoning a bit too far here, but then I'll ask you a final question. Did a servant help with the crime? Help meaning they either provided the key or did the crime themselves.
Okay, since lightsaber duels aren't a real thing.
Yes. Well, actually they are because magic is real.
Right. I think a servant did help.
Okay.
That must have been what the goat was supposed to symbolize.
The goat symbolized the servant helping?
Yes.
Okay. Then, okay.
So somehow one of the servants helped the culprit get into the room, and then the master key was handed back off, but that would mean that either Goda or Kumasawa.
You're gonna trust Genji and Shannon?
It makes the most sense to distrust Goda or Kumasawa.
That is true. But I'll also point this out. Do we know the keys are on them? On their persons?
No, we don't.
Exactly.
We also don't know if that key was just. I guess
so if the servants handed off the key to someone, couldn't they have done that earlier that day, before their alibi?
That's possible.
So according to your theory right now, Genji and Shannon are just as dangerous as Goda and Kumasawa.
You're right.
Which they'd be even more so, unless you use reverse psychology. Because wouldn't you want an alibi during a time that, you know, you would be suspected? Which, with that reasoning, Shannon and Genji are the most suspicious. But then you can use reverse psychology to say Goda and Kumasawa knew that and gave the key to. But then you can use reverse, and then he goes on forever. Any thoughts?
I have no concrete evidence, obviously, but I do think that I'm just slowly becoming increasingly more suspicious of Genji.
Genji. Anything in particular?
So who was the first person to find the, I guess, deceased in the chapel?
The first Twilight?
Yeah.
Shannon received a note saying chapel, and I don't know if she went there alone or she called people with her, but Shannon's probably the closest one to have found it, but I believe Genji, Shannon, and Goda found it approximately the same time. And then I think they went to get Rosa, and then... And was Kanon there too? Yeah, Kanon was there too. So, all the servants except Kumasawa. Which basically are the suspicious people.
So,
Yep.
that could lead me to believe two things.
Okay.
Three things.
Oh, three things.
One, someone in that group of four is suspicious. Well, they're all suspicious, sorry. The one in that group of four did the crime.
Okay.
I guess. Crime of being an accomplice. Kumasawa-san did it.
And just kept her distance from the chapel?
Yes.
That's pretty natural thing to do. You don't want to return to the scene of the crime. That's what they all do.
I mean, another thing that makes me think that she could have done it.
Okay.
Is that she very conveniently mentioned the Halloween candy. Or the Halloween coming up. I don't know if that was supposed to be comedic writing or if that was on purpose.
I mean, I want to put it past her, Kushi, but you know, maybe she was like trying to cheer Miria up because she knew Miria liked Halloween, or she just, you know, remember there's food.
That'd be an awfully convenient excuse, Nicholas.
Okay, and what is that? It with the Kumasawa theory? Your third one?
Yeah. And then I guess from there it's down to Shannon and Genji.
They have an alibi with Kinzo.
Sure, they have an alibi, I guess, during the time that happened, but...
Yes. Well, not during the first Twilight. I don't think anyone has an alibi for the first Twilight.
Right.
Maybe except the 4 cousins, since they slept in the same room, but that's shaky.
Which is why the first Twilight is awkward.
Yeah, the first Twilight's basically always like that, I think.
But then, I think Beato brought up a good point. It could have been one of the 4 cousins that also helped.
With the letter. And Jessica's dead? Or you're not going to say she faked her death, she just laid there on the floor the entire time. You're going to accept she's dead, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's no red truth saying that she didn't, that she's absolutely dead, but
that is true, but
for argument's sake, I'm just going to assume that she's dead.
It's not 100%, but it's a safe assumption.
So I'm going to say that she's dead.
Okay.
And
we got read that Cannon's dead.
Yeah, Cannon is dead, 100%. So
Okay.
Cannon is not suspicious. Dead people can't be suspicious.
Is that true? What if he was like an accomplice and he was silenced off?
Would be interesting.
But they still the matter of the key, which that mean there'd be 2 servant accomplices, which would make it even
weird.
Harder. Yes. So basically, if there's one of the servants or one of the cousins, those are the most suspicious?
Well, I mean, it could even be And.
And? Right. How many people do you think are in on this crime?
So far, I'm bordering, or I'm almost sure it's 2 now,
2?
But I'm bordering
okay.
on 3.
Okay. Are there any 2 or 3 you want to name in particular? Or is it just among those that you name? You don't know?
So this is a detective mystery thing, so
yes.
We can't suspect the detective. Obviously.
Yes, battle is safe.
So...
I'm going to turn the chessboard over. There's 3 people we haven't named that are technically 4 if you count Beatrice. Are we going to count her?
No.
Okay. There's 3 people we haven't named that are... You haven't said are suspicious. Kinzo, Nanjo, and Rosa. Do you think those people have nothing to do with the crime?
I have to trust the doctor.
You have to trust the doctor?
I don't have to, but it's a good idea.
Well, think about it. If you don't trust the doctor, well, trusting the doctor could make you miss a lot. Well, you haven't had the chance to. He hasn't done any autopsies yet. But choosing whether to trust him or not is a huge decision that I don't think you should take lightly. Now, Kinzo wouldn't leave his room. Come on now. I mean, Kinzo...
I feel like Kinzo just has the eternal alibi.
I mean, he doesn't...
It would be so easy for him to just kill everybody. That's why I really don't think he did it.
The good old, it's too easy alibi.
I mean, like, think about it. I mean, you don't have to think about it. You already know who killed everybody.
Yeah.
But, like, it's just...
It was Kinzo in the parlor with the candlestick.
It can't be Kinzo.
Can't be Kinzo?
No. I've decided that.
I think you're saying that a bit too lightly, but I'll let you stick with that.
At least, I don't think Kinzo killed people.
Okay. I mean, I want to put it past Kinzo to, like, murder his own children.
I wouldn't put it past Kinzo to do anything. Which is why I'm just giving him the benefit of the doubt.
He's the wild card. We don't know.
He's the 0 on the roulette.
No, that's canon.
I mean, no, Cannon, his HP dropped to 0.
Oh. So finally, there's Rosa. Rosa's in a very strong position right now.
I don't
she
know
has the gun.
her.
She's the one that casts doubt on Cannon. Isn't it the culprit's duty to, you know, if you're guilty, you're gonna try to blame someone else? Isn't that psychology?
Yeah, I guess so. You wouldn't be wrong about that.
So do you think she's suspicious? The number of people alive is, I think it's halved. 6, 8, almost halved. Assuming you believe they're all dead.
It's
you do.
Oh yeah, it's tough because it's so difficult to suspect Rosa because it seems like she's just extremely hysterical.
Okay. What if he's faking it?
Wow, wouldn't that be handy? That'd be a really convenient thing to be faking, wouldn't it?
Almost like she knows people will think, oh, the culprit can't be this hysterical, right?
Right? Interesting.
I had something to say, but I've lost my train of thought. Yeah. So, do you trust George and Maria?
Again, with the Maria thing. So, okay, I guess I should voice this because you told me to.
Oh,
I'm growing also increasingly suspicious of George and Shannon.
George and Shannon?
Yes.
You think they're the killer couple?
What are they called? They're Bonnie and Clyde.
Oh yeah, yeah. So you think they could be working together to kill everyone?
It'd be awfully nice if they could just have all this money and not have to worry about the family and get married and
That's true.
like Ava said, she would never like accept
Them getting
that
married?
George wanted to get married.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Eva being out of the way would help George and Shannon's relationship.
But that would also be me having to accept the fact that George would be willing to kill his own mother and father.
Yes, and not just them, but if he kills everyone except for the 16 other people. I mean, there would be better ways to go around it. That alone is a bit weak.
No, I guess you're right.
But that doesn't mean that train of thought is necessarily wrong. Because if there's two people who can trust each other and work together, wouldn't that be a lot better than, like, how can you get someone to be your accomplice of killing over a dozen people?
Sorry? What?
Well, how could you get someone to be your accomplice to kill over a dozen people? Like, money? Well, if they had the gold, then they could do that, yes. But that's assuming the gold exists in the first place.
Which would be handy if someone saw the epitaphs so they could kill them.
Yes. So I think that's about all I'm going to get from you tonight if you don't have anything else to voice. Unless you don't.
Not really. There's not much that I can think of.
Okay,
I'm still missing a lot of pieces of the puzzle here.
Yes, you are. What I mean, you're gonna keep saying that until we finish episode 8 of Umineko. You're like, I'm still missing some of the pieces of the puzzle.
I need this jigsaw puzzle. It's unfinished. Someone left some pieces out.
I mean, you left the pieces out by not remembering what happened in episode 1.
Maybe that's true.
Because that knowledge would help you, but for example,
so what makes me suspect George and Shannon is that did we only see half of Shannon's face?
Half of Shannon's face?
Or was it her entire face that got smashed?
That got smashed? I have to go into episode 1 tips for that. Title back. Tips. Episode 1 tips. Was it half or all? Execute. It was half her face.
Okay, well maybe that theory's thrown out of the fucking park now.
Or are you trying to say that she faked her death in the shed?
Possibly.
Okay. But missing half your face would probably be hard to fake.
It'd be easier if she was just missing her entire face.
Oh, but that'd be saying the corpse was someone else's corpse.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think anybody on the island looks especially similar to Shannon.
And especially with the leg tattoo.
Yep.
Or there's one other person on the island with a leg tattoo. It's on the other leg, but Beatrice in her miniskirt outfit does. But it's on the other leg.
But they made no mention of Beatrice in episode 1, I don't think. So.
Well, I mean, they didn't show her in a miniskirt, but Beatrice existed in episode 1. The epitaph existed. The painting existed.
Well, she didn't exist.
As a person, okay, I get what you mean. You seem to be back and forth considering her as a 19th person or as one of the 18.
Again, I'm not sure. So I have to keep revising theories and making assumptions.
Okay.
I don't fucking know.
Yeah, pretty much. I perfectly understand how you feel. Like, once you know everything of Umineko, it's like easy to say, wow, how did I not see that the first time? It's obvious. It was Kinzo in the study with the candlestick.
It was Kinzo in a dress,
Yes.
handed Maria the parasol.
You remember that, yeah. But
Then gave her a letter. Oh my god, I'm such an idiot.
How could you overlook this? But when you're reading it for the first time, you have no idea who it could possibly be. It could be anyone. It could be Battler, it could be Goda, it could be Rosa, it could be that tree. You don't know.
And even if I got the theory 100% right, or even if my theory was 100% right, you're not gonna fucking tell me.
Yeah. I just throw you off.
Even if I just say, if I told you exactly who the killer was, how they did it, and
I'd contradict it with something.
I could even tell you like what the epitaph is, and you'd be like, nah. Wrong. Actually, I think if I solved the epitaph, you might say something, but
If you solved the epitaph, I would tell you.
But
and then I also say, well, you cheated, didn't you? You looked it up. But I would tell you if you got it right.
If I solved it before
anything. Well,
anything,
the epitaph is revealed eventually, but that'll be a long time from now.
Okay.
But if you solved it even before, basically that scene, I would hand you $1 million in Monopoly bucks.
What would you do if I actually solved it?
Hand you $1 million in Monopoly bucks, but the version with like the credit card, so I don't have to actually buy like 1,000 copies of Monopoly.
Nice.
Okay, we're almost 2 hours in now. Do you have any thoughts still?
No.
Like, I don't mind dragging it on if you have more thoughts to voice.
I'm mostly just all thought it out.
Okay. So next time we'll be back when the third Twilight's actually just praise my name on high. So I think maybe the fourth and plus will be starting up next time. Not sure. Well, we'll see then. And we're almost
my name on high.
That's just
that's probably Kinzo dies. The Twilight.
That's in episode 1. There's a letter saying praise my name on high. And they're like, but you just tricked us. But I think it actually happened after the 4th and 5th Twilight. Well, they opened it. I forget. Anyway. It's something to say. Right, we only have like 5-6 episodes left until we finish episode 2. So we're almost done.
Did you need to start uploading these?
Yep.
Oh man.
Yeah. I never thought my hard drive would be relieved of this pain.
The suffering.
The suffering. Indeed, guys. I'll see you guys next time with some more Umineko no Naku Koryo ni.
Better known as...
No, I'm not. That's the intro.
Oh.
I'll see you guys then. Bye. You have to say bye too. There you go. There you go.
Bye.